Hey, welcome. Hey, Wasabi, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, thanks. Um, we'll just get things kicked off here. Looks like it's just going to be me and you right now. Um, so yeah, welcome everybody. This is for people listening later, I guess. Welcome to episode 4 of Demo Days, where this is hosted by me, Boiler Rat, a member of the Meta Guides, which is a sub DAO of Meta Cartel. And this Twitter Spaces is to highlight grant recipients of Metacartel and for them to let us know what's going on. So today we have Wasabi from Kokonut Network. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Boiler, for the invitation. I'm so happy to be here on this Friday. They call it Refi Fridays in the Refi community. So it's always a joy to do a Twitter space on a Friday for me.
Oh, nice. Originally we had Bao coming on as well from, he's got a project underway with Collabland and Raid Guild, but kind of forgot today is American Thanksgiving. So
Yeah. There is a bunch of people that is in the road, traveling. There is a bunch of going on this weekend. To be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, and I'm in Canada, so I didn't think about it. And you're in the DR, so you as well don't have Thanksgiving this weekend, unless you do. I don't. Do you? Do you guys have Thanksgiving?
Um, If I'm honest with you, you know how related it is the Dominican culture and the states,
Hmm.
and we pretty much celebrate all of these holidays. Right now it's Black Friday in the Dominican Republic. It's crazy, but every business has offers like Black Friday today. They even call it Black Friday. I mean, if you go to Google and you search for Black Friday Santo Domingo, Black Friday República Dominicana, and you're gonna get a bunch of results because
Yeah,
it's crazy how related we are.
yeah. It's same in Canada too. We like our Thanksgiving is in October, which is like October 9th. It's actually on my son's birthday, Thanksgiving in Canada, but yeah, we do the Black Friday sales as well because most of our shopping is like the chains are all based in the states and everything, so that sort of thing. But yeah, so enough about that. Let's talk about Coconut Network. Let's dig in a little bit and really like to know what's going on there. Maybe for people who haven't heard of Coconut Network, if you want to give it a few minute rundown, a basic overview of what it's all about, that we can maybe dig in a little deeper.
Oh yeah, Coconut Network is the I can say that Coconut Network is people's power because all of the all of that happens around Coconut is it has to do with people. Um, you can call it landowners, you can call it contributors, you can call it and DAO members that are oversighting the territory, are bankrolling the whole development of the farm. Everything revolves around people. So this is why we have built the Coconut to be people oriented in several ways. For example, all of the governance is in the hands of the DAO members. We as core team, we don't have that voting power within the Coconut DAO. It's supposed to be governed by the community because this is the easiest way to scale something like what we're doing, because since we are doing a real life project, we basically have to make sure that everything about this real life project is going according to plan. But for example, some people has come to us and be like, oh, why you don't have a token, why you don't have an NFT collection? Like, I'd be like, yeah, we can launch a token and we can launch an NFT collection, but what if we want the community, we want the DAO members to take the lead and to actually push these initiatives forward. Because what we're building is a blockchain co-op that's gonna be run by the Kokonut DAO, and the Kokonut DAO is run by its members. So we want to empower, and we want people to know that they have the power, and that we design the tokenomics around giving them this power and giving them the space to experiment and to collaborate with the DAO and to put forward proposals about how to enhance the whole Coconut vision. So yeah, we are building the Kokonut network. We plan to build. We are basically building a bridge between agriculture and Web3. We are starting with one coconut farm, but the plan is to create a network of coconut farms that the land is provided by the community. We can create this type of assets that are community owned and community run by by the landowners, by the core team, and the DAO members. So that's basically what is Coconut about. We're doing coconuts because all of the upsides that comes with coconuts, like you can get the water, you can get the insides, you can use the waste to create other products. You can create even charcoal using the coconut shells. So basically, coconuts are a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's incredible. So as I understand it, then is the first actual physical coconut farm that is underway is a model of what could be for other community-owned coconut farms. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, we are working on the first plantation that's gonna be owned. It's gonna be co-owned by the landowners and the Kokonut DAO. Like
Okay.
we're gonna be sharing lifetime profits. But for example, what's the joy of having all of the voting power in the hands of the DAO members? When it comes to scale, let's say that the DAO already has a treasury, the DAO is already receiving rewards of the B1 plantation, and the DAO wants to purchase land, or the DAO wants to expand the operations to other countries. For example, they
Mhm.
are not tied to what the founders have to say about the Coconut DAO, because the DAO is not owned or run by the core team. Like the DAO member has all of the freedom to be like, oh, you know what, we're gonna purchase a new piece of land, and we don't want the core team, or we just want the core team to perform X or Y task.
Mhm.
Like they have all of the freedom to create new contracts and be like, oh, we want you to help us set up everything, and then like we want you to do a one-time a job for us, or even consulting. The core team can
Mhm.
be like consulting for the DAO, and they don't. We don't need to be tied for life. This is what is this is what make the coconut tokenomics so great, having loot shares and voting shares, and you are able to give the voting power to the DAO members that are putting down the money, and you give the loot
Mhm.
shares to the core team or to anyone else that is contributing to the DAO.
Yeah, and uh, I don't know what you've seen in version 3 of Downhouse yet, but something that might be a big change if you choose to, because a DAO is certainly able to continue operating the way that they do in version 2, and there's a beauty to version 2. I think that I can see why a DAO would prefer to stay with that. But with version 3, a DAO will have the option of turning on token transferability as well as delegating power. So if somebody, delegating ability, so if somebody, it gets into a little bit more like compound governance then, when
Yeah.
right. So and a DAO can start small and then and maybe have non-transferable tokens at the beginning, Moloch tokens, and then later on they can turn that on and have it
Um.
become transferable.
In my opinion, I would say that I prefer governance to be soul bound to, to
Mm-hmm.
the wallet, because, so we can prevent governance attacks and we can prevent other
Yeah.
stuff that can happen in the future. So yeah, I would love to have the governance soul bound to the wallet, and to have like a utility token, or something else that we can print, and then we can like manage the circulation of the token, and we can like make payments. And we, for example, Source Creed have something really nice, that you generate this social credit, and then
Mm-hmm.
you can exchange the credit for stable coins or other crypto assets that are liquid. I like that approach, because
That sounds really interesting. What's the name
yeah,
of that? What was the name of that again?
Source Creed.
Oh, source. Oh, yeah, that stuff. That, I found that really complicated.
Yeah, it is complicated, but I was doing some research, because we're gonna be having a bunch of people working in the farm. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at ways on how to compensate these people, besides of the normal wages, or how can we um, build in the Web3 side into the real life day-to-day operations. Like I'm researching on those intersections, because it's really interesting how you can use reputational way, to calculate that rewards and compensation. That's really a thing that we have been exploring, because it's like a always say to people, like what you're looking at right now about Kokonut is like the 5% of the whole vision. Like this is just a draft. We lay out the basics of what we gonna use to build the tech. the tech stuff on top of this base layer, because we want to build on top of data that is trustable, that you can trust, and we can build resilient and rock solid products on top of of this base layer. So this is why we haven't even do a public fundraise, because we believe that we need to have some traction, some social proof, some, before we go and ask people for money. And we are about to, like, we plan to do the first public fundraise next month. We consider that the project is ready to publicly ask for money, and to answer every question that anyone from the community or investor might have.
Well, yeah. Well, that's incredible. Can you tell me a little bit more about um, the actual physical location that you have right now? And because I remember when you got your grant from Meta Cartel, that one of the things that you were going to do with that was going to get your first permits going, and which was going to enable you to actually start planting. Um, can you give a little update on that?
Yeah, we actually did we did get the permits. Um, we had the permits beforehand. Then we had to pay the fees. That's what we did with the grant money. We pay the fees for the permits. So right after that, we got a bulldozer, and we book a 100-hour work with the bulldozer, so we can start cleaning the land. So yeah, we did all of that. Then we shoot a drone video in the process of when the bulldozer had like 50 hours completed. We shot a drone video. Yeah, so right now we have like a 20% of the land that have been cleared by the bulldozer, and we are in the process of getting a new bulldozer that's gonna be half of the price that we paid for the last one. So it's gonna be a really nice deal for us. And we just waiting, like the bulldozer is gonna be in the land like in 2 weeks or so. So because the equipment is doing another job in the area, so we managed to get like 50% of the regular price. So yeah, we're gonna keep clearing the land so we can keep working on the planting process, because uh, cleaning the land is just the phase one of the planting process. Then we have to build like a fence around the land.
Mhm.
Then we have to do other agricultural jobs in order to for the land to be ready for planting. But yeah, we're working towards that. And this first plantation is going to be located in the Dominican Republic to the south, in
Mhm.
in a town called in the province of Barahona, in a town that the little town is called Las Salinas. That's where the first plantation is going to be located. And yeah, we have a visit from the Minister of Agriculture of the Dominican Republic. They love the project, and they are going to they going there on December 7th. They go into the land to review what we're doing, review all of the project, and see how can they help with funding, with seedlings and other stuff, with the water wells. That is gonna cut the budget by a lot. If we manage to get all of this help from the government, we're gonna be able to cut a few items of the budget. For example, the water wells. In the budget, we have $48,000 for just for the construction of the water wells. I
Mhm.
no, I believe, let me see. Hold on, I don't wanna be talking about okay the budget. Hold on, yeah, but yeah, we're gonna be able to cut a few stuff. Okay, I have the water wells here. Okay, three water wells. It's $43,000 that we have for the three water wells in the budget. So if we manage to get this from the Minister of Agriculture, and we manage to get funding, yeah, we're gonna be able to decrease the budget for a bunch of money, and that's an amount of shares that are not going to be making to the market,
um,
because it's money that we don't need. So if we don't need the money, we won't raise the money, and we won't
right.
mint shares.
Something that I find super interesting about you specifically, and something that I think really sets Coconut Network and Coconut DAO apart is just the business planning. I know that I've seen you comment before that DAOs need to spend more time on business development, business planning, and that sort of thing. And like the work that you do, I think with Coconut Network is really a model of business planning in a DAO. Um, Maybe if you could take me through a little bit of your background itself, and then and what led you to be interested in DAOs and to bring your business skills to DAOs.
I believe that a wake point in DAOs, Web3 projects in general, is that they are all they all revolve around the users. Like, if you don't have users, if you don't have the user engagement, then the project slowly dies, and that's sad for me. Like, I
Mhm.
have seen that so many times in this past year, because it's like you said, like, you need to have a business model that is not around the user. Like, yeah, you can build something around the users, but users alone can't be the source of everything, because if those users lose confidence, then your project is gonna die, or your token is gonna tank. I have seen that happens many times. So this is why we we want to build something real, and we on purpose have left some things out of the proposals. For example, like why don't we have a utility token? Why don't we have an NFT collection? Like we want the DAO members to build these products on top of Coconut. Like we want them to be able um to go through the information that we're gonna be generating in the open source accounting system, and we want them to be like, oh, you know what, I control X amount of shares, so I'm gonna open a proposal telling the DAO to use 20% of the revenue to back this new token, for example, or use 30% of the revenue to create this new dependency that is going to be working on with agricultural tokens, let's say. So we want the DAO members to be empowered and to build these other products on top of Coconut. That's the whole idea. What led me to DAOs and what led me to the Web3, to be honest, I've been dealing with crypto. I've been dealing with digital money since web money. I don't know if you know what web money is, but is this Russian payment system, like it's like the PayPal of Russia, let's say. It's called web money. I've been using web money since 2006. So after that, um, the cryptocurrency came. I'm an early crypto adopter, so I've been dealing with crypto since 2012. So I'm basically very technical when it comes to to test new technology and to embrace new trends. So at first we just wanted to create a token and raise money to plant the trees. That was the vision at first. But then as was doing research, I was doing research. I was researching the Web3. I found out about the Web3 communities because I knew that the crypto is there, but I didn't knew about the Web3 communities and all of the Web3 movement that was happening in the background. Like when I discovered all of that, I said, wow, we need to build a DAO from scratch because we wanted to create a token and then create a DAO. But we were facing a few problems when it comes to trust and when it comes to securities. Like we wasn't able to work directly with a token. So that's how I found out about DAO House. So when I found out about DAO House, I said, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is the framework that I envision. I was envisioning something just like DAO House works. That was a match. That was the click that made me to go all ham on DAOs and all of the upside that comes from having a DAO as a coordination hub.
Yeah, for sure. It was the same thing with me. I think when I found out House, it was like, whoa, this seems to answer a lot of questions I've had in my life, in a way, right? So yeah, I once I found it, I never turned back. That's for sure. um, I, I've never heard of web money actually. Like I started with crypto also probably back in 2012, but I think similar to a lot of people, like I kind of was in it for a little while and then wasn't in it for a little while, and then refound it, I guess. Um, I remember like I just didn't even know how to get it. Like I had no idea how to buy Bitcoin or anything like that back in the day. And I remember doing like little, just like little scam things, probably where you just like hit buttons over and over, and they pay you like a tiny little bit of crypto. And I'm sure I have those wallets around somewhere on some broken hard drive. Maybe I'm worth like $1,000 more than I think I am right now. um, I'm not. Has anything ever come with you and Yaler had been talking about possibly doing the what did they call it, like the meta camp or
Yeah, he created a group so we can start coordinating a possibility of holding a metacamp with the Dominican Republic. I believe that it is a really good option because we have many airports. There is flights coming to the DR from everywhere in the world. Um, it's very cheap to host this type of events in the DR, and when you have something local, it's even cheaper. Like I believe that we have all of the scenarios that you guys might wish to have. Like we, if there is people that like to surf, we have a beach to surf. We have the mountains. We have all of the whatever you guys might need. Like I believe that DR is a great location to host a metacamp. I believe that is an opportunity and
Mhm.
for for people to realize the potential behind the art because historically we have been a third world country, but with the Web3 and the connectivity that exists nowadays, I believe that the art has the power to be something in the Web3 because of, for example,
Mhm.
what we're doing with Coconut is something that the government knows what we're doing. Like the government, they support us. Like they want Coconut to succeed, and they want to see if we're gonna be able to pull this off. Like because what we're basically doing is building a door that is gonna bring outside money to the
Mhm.
DR, and this money is going directly to the people that needs this money the most. Like
Mhm.
for example, the people that own the land, they are a group of 54 families. They own mad land in the area, but they don't have sometimes they don't have even the money to do food shopping. But they own all of this land, but they don't have the opportunities, they don't have the means, they don't have
Mhm.
probably the connections to take this land and create something meaningful and something that's gonna be there for the next generations. And I believe that what we're building is something that's gonna have a great impact in the community, not only in the DR, but in the Web3 communities, because we creating a superior form of staking. Like DeFi staking is okay. Like okay, we playing with magic money, but when it comes to stability,
Mhm.
come on, everyone knows what's up with DeFi when these tokens are not backed by something real or something that you can withstand a bank run. Like if,
Yeah.
if you can't withstand a bank run, come on, what you doing? Like you are too fragile. That's not what we building, and that's not what we envision to build.
And that's it's so interesting, right? Because I don't know of anybody else trying to like use real like I've heard of lots of DAOs trying to purchase real world assets, but I haven't heard of too many DAOs trying to use real world assets as what is the backing of the value. So that's really interesting, and because it's a renewable resource as well, right? It's not like the gold standard, which is a non-renewable resource, um, which is just a metal, which you can shape it and you can use it for things for sure, but for the most part, it's just a shiny object, right? Whereas with a with a coconut, it's a product that can be used in its in an entire in, trying to get the word out right entire the whole Help me out here. What's the word? The entirety? How do you say this word? East Coast. My East Coast Canadian tongue sometimes gets the worst of me. Um, but it's a regenerative product that is.
Yeah, it's something that is really easy to scale. For example, we have a tech company. Let's say that we have a tech company and we want to launch a new product and we want to keep scaling the company. Like you have too many variables going on at the like you need to bring the marketing team, you need to bring the developing team, you need to bring management, and you need to bring human resources, everyone to just to create a new source of revenue for the tech company. But when it comes to Coconut, we just need more land.
Mhm.
That's it. We just need land and we can keep scaling, scaling, scaling. This is why I said that Coconut is unlimited, scalable, per natural assets. Like it's crazy how you can scale vertically and horizontal scaling when it comes to coconuts. Like you can be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna create a sugar brand, and you have all of the coconuts that you might need in there to create this new organic sugar that is gonna be healthy. So you're creating something healthy for the humans, but at the same time you are creating charcoal with the shells or plates or spoons or forks. Like there is, I have seen people even creating biodiesel using coconuts. It's crazy. Like how much other products you can create of. Um, if we go when it comes to the environment to the wildlife, like the coconuts are a great source of pollen for bees. Like you know how important that are bees for the food production.
Mhm.
We are in a food crisis, so why don't we are double down on everything that is food related? Like the food market, you can look at the market, COVID and pre-COVID, and the only companies that are not hit by all of this inflation is the supermarket, is the food companies,
Mhm.
is the companies that create medicine, and you know and that's
I'm assuming the second one is the pharmaceutical industry because they've done pretty well.
yeah. It's crazy because that's another great thing about coconuts. Like you are tapping into four industries at the same time. So if the food industry is going down, you can be like, okay, I'm gonna produce cosmetics. I'm gonna work for the cosmetics, or I'm gonna work for the automaker, so they can use the coconut waste to create doors for the cars or create fiber. Like there is no beer market for coconuts because you can change the focus based on the market demands.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's super interesting. I actually use like I've used for use like coconut husks for hydroponics, for example, which is a pretty sweet product. Actually, it's like because the husks are like has kind of the composition of soil, but it is softer, a little more gives a little more room for roots to develop. So it's an excellent product for that. Yeah, that's. I think back of like where I'm from. Sometimes I mentioned earlier that I'm from the east coast of Canada, and it's kind of like the province that I'm from was where co-ops, at least in Canada, began, like cooperative banking, cooperative farming, all that sort of thing, like co-ops. And I find it interesting that you're kind of using the cooperative model that was originally like thought of a long time ago and putting a new twist on it and modernizing it with crypto a little bit. And I find it interesting that it goes back to some of these original roots in a way of farming. I think like finding collective ways for people to work together to create food or create other products that the community needs. So it's like community-based economies. Wonder if you could talk about that a little bit, like what it would mean for a community to have a coconut network farm around them.
Um, yeah. For when it comes to the community, I believe that community is the one that benefits the most of having a coconut farm. For example, you have let's say 500 people working on the plantation at the same time. Let's say, or 200, 300, whatever amount of people. All of these people needs to be fed. These need to they need to eat. So you need someone in the community that actually is cooking for all of these people. So there you go. You already have 12 jobs opening right there for the people that's gonna be cooking for them. That's just when it comes to food. But what about the circular economy going around the local town? Like all of the people that's gonna be working on the coconut B1, they live in the town or in the nearest town next to the plantation. So the money is gonna be circular because right now the big corporation they create all of this wealth and they take it out of the city or of the country. For example, we have a Canadian company here that is they are a mining company. They are called Barrick Gold. Barrick Gold, and they get 95% of the gold that they get of the Dominican Republic, and they only share a 5% with the DR. Like that's
Wow.
crazy. How can you
Yeah.
benefit a whole community when you take 95% and you take it out of the country?
Hmm.
You don't even leave that money in the country. Like um, I believe that for communities is the most beneficial for them. For example, the landowners they are part of the community and they are a group of 50, 55, 54 families that own this land. So they're gonna be getting a 40% share, a revenue share for life of the plantation. So this group of families that they live in the town, they gonna be spending the money in the town. So they're gonna be building new houses. They're gonna be bringing other type of wealth to the town. So
Hmm.
uh, that's for the local communities. That's just by the operation, by the normal operations. But if we decide to create that coconut oil, we're gonna have to employ a bunch of people from the community, and they can even get all of these products in wholesale and be distributors of the products. Like that's the vision behind coconut. Like we want the community to run the supply chain, to be the one working the land, to be the one receiving all of the benefits of the operation. We want to be the community.
Yeah, that's incredible. It really is. I see that you are like once in a while I cruise around on Twitter Spaces and I'm just like see what's going on and you can kind of see a blurb I guess or of who's listening in and I often see your avatar in refi conversations. You want to get into that a little bit about what your involvement is in the refi community as far as the crypto refi community, I guess.
Yeah. I can say that the refi community is very young. You have amazing projects that are popping up. For let's say that for the time that being that refi being a trend, I believe that we are doing really good because For example, I'm in the Refi Founder Cycle. I mean the Refi DAO Founder Cycle, and there is 153 founders in this season. So it's crazy. Like one
Oh,
year ago, when I was doing research that I found out about DAO House, I found out about DAOs. I didn't knew I like that there was so much people building and at the same intersection of nature, climate, and Web3. Like I didn't knew like there were so much projects. For example, there is this guy that he's tokenizing trees. Like he's tokenizing endangered trees. Uh, the trees that are about to go extinct. He create a digital version, and he has all of these
love that.
stuff that he's gonna do with the 3D version of the trees. That's crazy. How much people is building. For example, there is people building the blue economy. That is everything that is related to the oceans and to the seas. There is people building projects to restore are received to restore all of the marine life that create other externalities that I didn't even knew about how much powerful are the planktons in the sea. Like it's crazy how much projects are building in the refi. So I believe that the next bull run is gonna be all about refi because most of the refi projects are based of something let's say real, something that you can go and touch, something that you can go and something tangible. So yeah, I can say that I'm stuck with all of the building happening in the refi future quest. Like those guys are doing a great job when it comes to creating quests that are gonna be helping the planet one way or another. So I can say that everyone that is about Web3 that likes Web3 stuff have to take a look at the Refi projects because there is some players that are about to make a really great impact when it comes to finance, when it comes to human coordination is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes it's just, I think people just don't know that this opportunity is available to them to try out their ideas and stuff like that. And I think the Coconut Network, in many ways, is an onboarding mechanism for people into crypto as well, right? Like, out of all the people in your community that are involved with the actual farm, are, would you say that a lot of them are learning crypto based on the work that you're doing?
Yeah, 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 that's amazing because this is why I mentioned source creed. Like we want people to know that they can create their own economies. Like for example, we gonna have like 2,000 workers in the B1 plantation from for many occasional jobs, but we are going to teach them how to use Web3 wallets, how to create a new accounts, how to use the Web3 tools that are out there already waiting to be used by the mass populations. So, for example, we want them to learn how to create their own workers co-op so they can have like a credit union for workers that works with Web3, I mean ERC20 tokens. Like we want to have like a reputational token. That's something that I want to do. That this reputational token you can exchange for the, let's say, the Kokonut utility token, and this Kokonut utility token you can use in the entire town. For example, you can go to any business in the local town, and you can use the token to purchase groceries. Um, we can have like use the tokens even for credit. Like I have so much in so much in the roadmap, so much stuff that is gonna be seeing the light in the coming weeks. Because it's like I said, we at first we wanted to build a coconut plantation, but right now we want to build a Web3 ecosystem that have the coconut plantation at the center, at the core of
Mhm.
of the production. Like we have assets that produce value, and that's in the center. And we have all of these ecosystem built around um, the farm and around the network, and that's the idea mainly to use Web3 to create a better lifestyle for everyone.
Yeah, and it's incredible that the DR's government is actually behind your project because, like in Canada, I can't see the government ever supporting like a community token being able to be used as currency throughout the community. Um, I just can't see it happening in Canada, like unless there's like really good models that they can see that works. So
Yeah,
I you know,
yeah, yeah. So, one question that many people ask me is how I explain DAOs to farmers, how you explain DAOs to to normies that don't be dealing with DAOs. And you say that it's a co-op that is gonna be more transparent, and all of the records are going to be public for everyone to verify. So that's the explanation that I gave them. They are okay with that because that's what they want. They want transparency. They want funding coming to the country. They want new source of revenue for the communities. They want new jobs opening at every level. When you look at yeah, it's crazy to have the government backing us up, but that's the good side of crypto. Like when
yeah,
you tell people, oh, you can verify everything is public, and you're gonna be able to verify it. People they feel confident about this because they're gonna be able to look at it. This, this is why I love Moloch DAOs and the way Moloch DAOs works. Like we need to go to the DAO members and ask them for money. We need to go to the DAO members and ask them for to approve new shares. Like we can't work without the DAO approving us, and we can't transfer DAO assets without the DAO approving them. So that I love that because I love to ask for permission before we do anything because we just need this to work. Like like we are not chasing a payday. We are not chasing a compensation. Yeah, that's gonna come because we creating something new. We creating a new economy, but we just want this to work and succeed because of all of the upsides for Web3 and local communities. Like Web3 is in need of have something real backing up the economy. Like everyone saw what happens to FTX. Like yeah, they were doing bad stuff, but regardless, like it's crazy to lose this amount of billions in just 1 week.
yeah,
That's because at the end of the day they didn't have anything real. Like the backing, it was the token that they were printing
yeah,
themselves.
yeah,
They didn't have a DAO to print the token, because if they had a DAO and they had the community approving these prints, it's another history that is not going to be the same because you have a governance body actually be like, yeah, yeah, we need to print these tokens because we have that's what the math is saying, you know. So
no, for sure. Like in a way, like they're printing these tokens at FTX, and it was like it's based on an idea, right? Which is not anything, right? It's based on them being able to prove that they're like super geniuses at investing in something, and people like just having their putting their faith into their ability to invest and that properly, and that's kind of what drove the price of that token. Which, as we found out, their investment, um, it was all fake. Everything they did was like just smoke and mirrors, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because they lose confidence. They lose the trust that was the support of the token. So that's why we want to build old school, like things they do fundraise first and they build later. We are building first and we're gonna do fundraise later because I have seen teams that they have all of the budget, they have all of the money, but they don't have the plan ready or the product is not ready to launch, and they keep developing, and they just wasting time because when you do a public fundraise, people, community investors, everyone that has put money into you, they have they are expecting something. They are expecting you to make progress. They are expecting you to actually deliver on what you already said. And this is why we wanted to do the hard part first, the part where you go like, oh yeah, we already did the part where you are wondering what to do. Like we already do that. Like yeah, we now we can get the money and do the work because we have already defined everything else.
something that kind of came to mind throughout this conversation today is like what a coconut network blockchain itself would look like what if it was more than just a DAO, and the DAO was like operating a
Um,
coconut network blockchain. And the reason why I say that is just because like one of the next big things with Ethereum is going to be the proto-den sharding, and like sharding off of transactions that like hyperstructures, I suppose, of
yeah.
particular ideas, right?
Yeah, like I said, what you're looking at about Kokonut right now is like the 5% of the whole vision. Yeah,
Mhm.
we wanted we plan to launch a blockchain in the near future because we're gonna need a blockchain anyway because we plan to run a supply chain. We plan to track everything from seed to tree, and from tree to the local market and the supermarket, and so you can like scan the products and you can like see all of the information behind that product that you are about to consume. So yeah, we plan to have a blockchain that's in the roadmap because we're gonna have many actors within the network, so we're gonna be needing our own playground to properly scale. So yeah, that was an alpha, but yeah, you got it. We're gonna launch a blockchain in the near
Wonderful.
future.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, that's incredible. So something that I always ask in these spaces is if people wanted to make contributions at all, or what sort of specific contributions you may be looking for. Um, this is your opportunity to let that be known.
Yeah. Right now, I can say since we are a real life project, I can say that the focus right now is in the real life side of the project. Like
Mhm.
we can be spending resources or connections building, let's say, an app or building a app that's gonna be connected to anything else. Like we already have the DAO living in DAO house, and I believe that this is something great because we don't have control over DAO house and we don't have control over the blockchain. So whatever the blockchain or whatever the smart contract says is the truth because we don't have control about this. We don't have control about the framework. Like, if anyone is doubting about the governance, let's say of Coconut, I can send them the DAO house documentation or the Moloch DAO documentation, and they're gonna be like, okay, I get it now. So
Yeah.
I can say that right now we are in the phase of having the real life side, the land as a focus point. So right now we're looking for the founding fathers of Coconut DAO, because right now we want to build the first plantation that's gonna be the first source of revenue for everyone. So we want the we are raising the money, and we are giving the governance rights to the people that provide this money, because they gonna be the ones taking decision in the future, because the DAO members gonna have is gonna be holding 99% of the voting power in the DAO. So right now, whoever joins the DAO and whoever's become a DAO member right now is gonna be like a founding father. It's gonna be one of the few people that's gonna have a say about Coconut DAO. Because
Mhm.
when we scaling and we have a track record, we're gonna have the option not to mint more governance chairs. We're gonna have the option because we're gonna have the track record. So we're gonna have the confidence of the community to be like, oh, you know what? We don't have governance shares. We only have utility tokens, or we only have, this token that provides you with this access. Like, we're gonna be able to change the rules according to what the founding fathers decided. Um, so
Mhm.
yeah, right now we need more than anything money contributions, but we have set the chambers workspace, and we're gonna be opening a few bounties revolving copywriting, revolving the design of the coconut eco lodge. There's gonna be a set of bungalows that we wanna build, so we can like bring people to the plantation, and they can stay for a few days, and
Yeah.
even work in the farm if they want to, and they want
Maybe,
to have that.
maybe that's a new model for. Maybe we're going to create a new model for Airbnb crypto. maybe
Yeah,
maybe this
yeah.
maybe this is the start of that.
Yeah, there is many upsides. Like I said, like we have
Yeah.
all of this land, and we can build something really nice. And you can have the coconut plantation as a neighbor, and you can be like in the morning. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get a coffee. I'm gonna get a cup of tea. I'm gonna walk by the 16 campus, because the coconut plantation is gonna be divided by 16 campus. So it's gonna be something beautiful once
Yeah.
the trees are a little high.
It's already beautiful. The whole everything about it is beautiful, and like I remember when you applied for your grant with Metacartel, and I took an interest in it, and like because you got your grant through the meta guides, which right now is no longer in the grant finding process anymore, um, just because metacartel by its very nature is experimentation, so it's meant to change and adapt. So some of the ideas that we were working on last year are no longer valid, but I always liked the meta guides as far as what they can do for projects is and connecting projects. And usually the spaces I try to match up projects or well, for Lucid, who's listening, does the scheduling and matches up projects. And as I'm thinking about it throughout the week, I always try to think of a theme of what these projects look like together, right? Because in order for the DAO economy to work, projects are going to have to work together. Um, so with Collabland, they're a super interesting project, and they were kind of bringing in Discord governance a little bit through Collabland, which is pretty interesting, and I was interested to see how that conversation would have went a little bit with Bowen here, and he always brings interesting ideas, and it wasn't a cancellation, it was a postponement, so maybe we can redo this one again because I feel like there's so many strings to pull on, so many threads to pull on with Coconut Network, and your mind is like unbelievable, Wasabi. It's like I don't even know. It's like you have a whole network of ideas going on in your own head. It's amazing.
Thank you, thank you. What can I say? I didn't knew anything about agriculture 1 year. Let's say 2 years ago. I was just like the normal knowledge about this. I fell in love with what we're doing because there is so much that you can build on top. Yeah, so it's really easy for me to connect ideas, eh, um, and to come up with something new. This is why we have a slow down a little bit when it comes to asking publicly for money, because when I recognize the opportunity and the impact that might have what we're building, I said, okay, we need to do this the right way from the
Yeah.
beginning. Like we can't be like, oh, I have to do this drastic change in the middle of the path. No, no, no.
Mhm.
Like like I know we needed to the base layer. Like I can say that the biggest barrier for the lack of funding in for agricultural projects, it is the lack of data. Like there is not trustable data that you can
Mhm.
consult on these projects, and you can be like, oh, I know the numbers, so I can put down this amount of money, and this is what's going to happen. That doesn't exist right now, and that's something that we want
Yeah.
to help fix in some way, because once people realize the potential, and once they have the data and they can have trust on this data, I believe that that's going to be an eye opening for everyone when it comes to natural assets. And and mainly for this type of countries like Dominican Republic, because we can produce the coconuts here, but we can't sell them in Canada, we can't sell them in New York, we can't sell them in Europe, and we're gonna be selling at the market price, at the local market price,
Yeah.
not the VR market price. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna be able to produce something low cost and to actually sell that low cost product at a higher price, but not in your local market, but in any market
Mhm.
that is out there.
Yeah.
That's something very powerful.
It is. That, yeah, it's wonderful. And we're out of time. I think right now, and I think that I could talk to you for hours on end and just keep going here, but I actually have to go and parent now. My kids are on a PD day today, and they're both pretty good. Like once they have their iPads in their hands, and they're pretty much self-sufficient. But I am going to go back to being dad at the moment. Sorry,
Yeah.
when I say PD day, like a parent, it's a what are they what's it stand for? Professional development. So the teachers take a day off of school, not a day off of teaching, and study. I guess I don't know what they do. Have meetings about curriculum. I don't know. Who knows? But once a month it happens, and it's a day off for the kids. And I just so happen to be off of my regular job on Friday, so I'm daddy today.
Yeah, I know. It was. it was a really nice conversation for a Friday. Yeah, I have no more daddy duties because the family is out. They went out because it's Friday, so
Oh,
I'm a be home blasting music in my
what
studio
are you listening?
speaker. So
What are you listening to?
I listen to mainly to hip hop. Lil Wayne, JC, those are my niggas.
But what are you listening to today though?
I'm gonna be blasting some Dominican rap. Like I have a few Dominican
Hmm.
rap and Dembo rap, Drake. I'm gonna put some Drake. Uh,
Is Dominican rap in Spanish or in English?
they rap in Spanish.
Yeah.
You can say that 99% of the Dominican artists they don't speak English. Like it's crazy
Okay.
how they go
Neat.
to interviews with a translator. But
No, that's neat. That's neat because well, like I've always thought of Spanish as being a very poetic language, anyways. So like to combine like the Spanish language with rap, it's probably really cool.
yeah, I'm since we have a very rich, let's say, slang here. There is some words that you're gonna be able to catch them and be like, oh yeah, I know what they mean.
What kind of what sort of style would you say that Spanish rap is? Like, is it like does do different countries that do Spanish rap have their own styles? Like, could you like instantly say, "Oh, that's Dominican rap"?
Dominican rap is like a New York rap. It's
Okay.
something like New York, yeah.
From what era? From what state? Well, like, or just in
Um,
general?
in general, like
Yeah.
we've been wearing all of the gold chains. We have these videos with all of the cars,
Right.
get videos in the ghetto. Like it's pretty much like New York. Like right now, all of the new music videos are being shot at the deepest ghetto of the city. Like that's the trend right now. Go to the ghetto and shoot the video there. Like that's what everyone is doing.
Right.
Even from international artists, they come in here and be shooting at the even Madonna. I believe that Madonna recorded a song with a Dominican rapper.
Oh,
Um,
really? Yeah.
yeah,
See, like I could go into my own personal hip hop history, man. I've been like I said before, I grew up on the east coast of Canada in a place called Cape Breton Island, which is like isolated, right? Like it's an island. You're an islander, right? Like islanders are different people. they're isolated. They live on islands, right? And like it was kind of weird place because you didn't have access to a lot of culture outside of our island, right? But we always had an interesting connection to New York culture. And I was able to get mixtapes like in mid 80s and stuff like that. So like I was listening like Slick Rick and Houdini and all this like crazy New York hip hop
yeah.
like almost as soon as
I
it
know
came out,
Houdini.
right?
I knew him in person a few years ago.
Who?
A rapper called Houdini.
Oh, no, Houdini. No kidding. See, that was like that's old school stuff, right? And but when that was coming out, like a lot of people weren't able to get it. Like we weren't able to have access to it, but we were getting all these tapes sent to us directly. Like they'd be getting cut in New York, and we'd have access to it like almost immediately in Cape Breton, of all places in the world. So like it's like I've always been into New York hip hop, I guess, right? Since a long time.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I said, we are really deep connection with the states. They even say that Dominican Republic is like a little New York. We had a president like 10 years ago that he used to say that, like, I have turned Dominican Republic into a little New York because because he did a subway.
Oh, no kidding.
Because of a subway, yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm gonna go and get back to everything. And I really appreciate you coming on today. Like that was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Thank you for the invitation to you and Christina.
I want to say hello to GM. Thank you.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, happy Cyber Monday, happy weekend.
Happy times. And I finally have gotten around to converting some of these spaces to YouTube. And I have a YouTube account that I've set up for the meta guides, and I've put the first 2 episodes up so far, and I have the last episode and your episode I'll try to get up over the weekend, and then that way we have a place where we can share this spaces if you choose to. And I really hope that this does get shared around, because it was
Perfect. I'm gonna share the YouTube recording soon.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, and I have a goal of making the crypto world know about you, Wasabi, because I think that you're a brilliant mind, and the being able to find that intersection between crypto and real life is a struggle, I think, and to find out like why people would actually want to use crypto, and I think that you figured it out in a way that very few have, and that's one of the reasons why I really appreciate you coming on and being able to tell us about what's going on with Kokonut Network and everything that you're doing there. So truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Boiler. I won't let you down. I promise.
We're gonna fork Kokonut like we do now. It's gonna be like all the community agriculture all over the world is gonna be forking you. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Amen.
All right. Well, we'll take care. And
okay.
I don't know how to close these things. I'm starting to learn. I certainly didn't go to university for journalism, but I'm figuring it out. And I think that every episode is getting a little bit better, and this was great. I truly appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. See you.
All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye.